This adds to the strength of the building in the wind. Thick bands every 20 to 30 stories over the fence. Which allow air to pass through.
Yung kama mo nandoon sa ledge.
The lead engineer of that effort was George Morton Coleman. He went on to build and market the Coleman Palace treatment. Newly streamlined postal service, and it's vacant as it has been since 2006. Not good. Leaving a building vacant is when it starts to fall apart. But in this case, the city, as with the Wrigley building, intervened and helped finance the maintenance of the outer structure, and so the plan could be agreed on for redevelopment, which happened just last year. This will become condos, shopping, and parking. More about that after the next 6 months of this conversation. So we're going to tear down this older Portuguese building and build a new glass skyscraper, and then we'll refurbish the original infrastructure again to create shopping, parking, and condos. And it is a new and welcome development, as I said. Prior to the 1990s, the city would not step in. It took almost 7 years to make a decision on what to do with it. 20 years ago, that was so bad. Here on the right was the new main post office. It was in 1999. So now we've got one large continuous floor. To accommodate a more mechanized and digitized postal system, the fewer workers, much more mechanization here at the new main post office. Back to the left, leaving the business district, so it's getting residential again. The neighborhood is known as printing, but like most manufacturing, warehouses are now repurposed as residential offices. We've got newer postmodern condominiums, also known as the South Loop. And And that includes a head on the left. Kind of reminds me of the Jetsons. The head is River City Condos, 1983, by Bertrand Goldberg. He did the round twin towers at Marina City, back on the main branch of the river. Again, these guys stick to their look, to their forms. So like Marina City, River City is round rather than square. Like Marina City, concrete, glass, and steel. Like Marina City, it's got a marina at the base. And like Marina City, built before this was an established residential neighborhood, beginning the Main Street business district. So at the base of the building is a shopping mall, which provides the business district for the area. Bertrand Goldberg, one of my favorites, a generation ahead of his time. He was effectively working in the post-modern style.
Marina building.
In the modern era. Trouble right here.
Beautiful.
River City.
Ano rin yung postmodern?
And you see these
Or something.
These posts that go into the river, they're called caissons. Concrete around steel going through the water and the topsoil into the bedrock. Anchored the building. So now we approach the starting point of the Great Chicago Fire, which over 3 days in October of 1871 destroyed everything that we're looking at and talking about. So that's 1871. After that growth spurt, after the canals and the railroads opened. And outside of the city limits, a lot of the development was wood, particularly communities for poor people, which were basically wooden shanty towns. That October was the second year of drought. Many variables came together to cause the disaster and particularly contribute to the scope of the disaster. And remember that back then this was a very active shipping lane. Along the shore, among other things, more lumber yards than any city in America, and a lot of heavy industry dumping oil-based waste into the river. Let's look to the right, about 3 blocks to the right. A brick tower there on the left. That's where the Great Fire started. That building is now the home of the Chicago Fire Academy, where we train the firefighters.
Oh, okay.
I rather like that. Built on the site of the O'Leary Barn, where the Great Fire indeed did start, Sunday night, October 8, 1871. Now you may already have heard the story about Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicking over a lantern to start the fire. It's a great story and a great song. Later admitted to colleagues that he was speculating. He didn't put that part into the article. So the fact is, we don't know how the fire started. Nature abhors a vacuum, so does history. We'd rather have a story rather than admit we don't know. We don't know how, we don't know when, and where. So the fire starts